Good evening and welcome to our Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Weekly Race. We are here with a dynamo lineup, as we were just talking about in chat. And on comms today with me, this of course is Growlwolf, and I'm joined by Matty J316. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Tell us a little bit about the lineup that we got.
Well, this is essentially an all-star almost of a quad we have up here. We have, if my page just derped on me, there we go. We have DLP 316 Pro A007, Leslie Pro 4, Emma Cobra 52 in the quad.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk about the flag set that they're going to be racing here in just a moment because it is going to come up. But first, we have to play one of our favorite mini games. Name the first world that's going to be coming up. My guess is going to be World 2. Well, let's get started in the desert.
I'm thinking World 3. I always like a fast World 3.
And we will find out here in just a moment. Chat, of course, get yours in the chat as well. We'd like to know what you think. Now, as far as the flag set goes, Matty J, what do you think that we're going to be looking at? Like, what's unusual about this?
I do not have an idea. This is new to me as well, but should be very interesting at the very least.
It's very interesting that you mention it like that. And for those of you in chat, he's not being facetious. What we have for you tonight is a randomized randomizer. So what we have done is we've gone in and we've set a majority of the boxes to maybe. So instead of saying, yes, it's random, no, it's vanilla, we said we'd like you to surprise us. So what we've done is we've taken a flag set that takes a lot of the different randomized settings that we usually would run. And we've said, you know what? I don't want to know what you pick. I want it to be a yes or a no. And as soon as it was rolled, that's when it was determined. So we are going to be running something a little bit different.
Hello,
we are still randomizing the world.
Often we're still in the preview thing. We were trying to switch it up to the new thing, but we do have it on screen right now. But World 3 kicks us off, and we have a couple of forts and a couple of Hammer Brother fights to kick us off.
And what a great fortress to start with. This is not one that's a little... It's one that you have to play a little bit respectfully because this one will eat your lunch if you're not being very careful with it. We have a question in chat. So the flags are different in that we are basically saying anything that can be randomized, we're going to randomize whether or not it can be randomized. So the randomization that we have is we have it so Cooper Kids may or may not have Earthquake on. They may not have randomized hit points. They may or may not have the ability to break locks with hammers. Right now, we don't know. So some of the strategy that we're going to come to is, will things like the hammers become a factor? Some may go for the hammers, some may not. Some may just try to go through as quickly as possible. But there's a good possibility that we'll see a little bit of strategy changes throughout this race.
I'd like to know who's who in this quad, but we're still stuck in the pre-race screen, unfortunately. And we have found the end, but there is a lock, so a fortress is necessary, obviously.
Absolutely, and we've seen a couple already go after 6F1, but we don't necessarily know if that is required or not. I haven't seen a second one, so there's a very good possibility that it is required, and we'll see who ends up going after it.
All right, we are still stuck in the pre-race screen. We are attempting to fix it. If you can hear us right now, we are attempting to fix it, and we will, if we do go off air for a couple seconds, that is why. One of us has reached the airship, however, so we will keep track of what are the next worlds. You folks can play in the chat as well if you want to tell us which world is next, of course. Never mind.
All right, there is going to be a blank screen for just a moment. Don't freak out. We're going to be right back. We did catch a glimpse. In the top left is DLP, top right is Pro A007, bottom right is Macobra, and bottom left is Leslie Pro. So right before we left, we had both Pro A007 and Macobra finishing
And
the
World
World 3-year
5,
show.
I did get a glimpse of World 5. So Pro A's in World 5. Everyone's doing pretty quick. A Jet World 3 to kick us off, actually.
Yeah, that was definitely a jet. We are, looks like DLP 316 currently at 343, finishing off his fight with Wendy here, hopefully without any further issues. So that's going to be about a 4-minute World 3, even for fourth place here, that as we can see on screen. So should be interesting.
Looks like we got everything back. There we go. We are back in track. So right now it's looking like Macobra is in a slight lead with Pro A007 not far behind. DLP and Leslie neck and neck, so to speak. There's no real winner or leader here in this case so far.
Yeah, definitely a very close race so far. I think a very great choice on both Pro A and Macobra's side to go for the hidden item. It's early enough. You find 1-3, go ahead and just play it, get your item, and it wound up being a cloud. So a little bit of a time loss going through 1-3 is going to result in an entire level being skipped. That's a win. We see our first beta level so far, one of the lost levels that was included in the game. And it looks like the Ice Capades, which of course do not take our runners very long at all.
I think we both might need to refresh here. We're both seeing different things. There we go. Yeah, I see the Ice Capades now.
Also looks like we're going to be fighting through a 4F1 here. Just trying to get through here real quick, and it's definitely required, as our runners had no other way to get to the second island except by going through it. And it looks like end cards are also required at this point. That's going to be very interesting.
You know what? If end cards are necessary, at the very least, there are some items that you pick up. Hammers are available in those card games as well.
One thing I do appreciate about the end card game is that the items can be randomized. So you might match 2 mushrooms, and that may not be what you wind up getting. As Matty J just said, you could very likely get a hammer, a cloud, or something that could be very helpful later on, including a hammer suit.
All right, so here's the guarantees. I have the list of guarantees. Macobra actually put it up in the Discord, which is available if you type in the information exclamation point SMB3R in the chat. I missed I did miss the item in the one of the hand levels. What was that, by the way?
Looks like Pro A is grabbing that real quick, and that is a magic wing. So any hand level,
wings in hand levels. We have 2 more still available in the roster. Whenever you see that, that is the item that will be available. And we're already at the end of the. I couldn't even get the sky choke out of it. That's how quick it was. Look at that look at that pipe right next to the castle, unguarded. What is the next level? Chat? I think in World 4, actually.
I'm going to have to stick with Desert Scene. I haven't seen the World 2 yet, so I think I'm going to go that way.
We're only 2 worlds in, so And we have World 1.
Kind of a dicey World 1 as well. We're going to have our runners have to play at least one of the fortresses, and there's a very good chance they could play a sneak in. If the first one they come to unlocks the one on the right, then they may have to
level in Cobra 52's side as well. We should probably mention what are the guarantees here for this seed before we got lost in the shuffle here. Levels and forts will be shuffled, including lost levels. Auto scrollers and warp whistles are removed, obviously. Level appearance will be normal, so no hands, but no question marks. Maps, of course, worlds will be shuffled except for World 8. Enemies and Hammer Bros will be random, and no one-hit KOs. Everything else is shuffled up. That's what we're talking about this evening. Basically, your standard seed with a couple of spicy things in case you want to get it spicy. But so far, this has been a quick seed.
Indeed, a couple of very quick levels that we've seen so far. Macobra was able to take a tail into World 1 Fortress. Meanwhile, Pro A, as much as he wants to go up for the item, is having a lot of issues with that boo, and actually had to take a lot more time than he wanted to get up there and end up...
Music not exactly worth it for that one, but it does unlock everything that he needs, so he's just go-moding on World 1. Sorry about that.
We now see Pro A, and Macobra just finished this as well. So the required fortress is, it looks like 6F3, but DLP found out something that I think is more important than anything else, and that's that hammers break locks. Because he did not play a single fortress, he skipped both the levels, and now
he did. Yeah. He's already at the fortress. Yeah, of course, hammers break locks and rocks, but they do not build bridges. So it's standard issue for now.
And it looks like Leslie Pro is going to do his best to catch up as well with that. So with the hammer that they have, Leslie Pro and DLP both decided to use it. And that's going to mean a very quick finish for all four of our runners. And with here in just the next minute, all of our runners are going to be out and onto World 4 in this randomizer.
Our fourth world of the evening, we will tell you. So DLP picking up a quick lead with both Pro A and Macobra finishing up their airships as well. So DLP with the hammer situation jumping ahead. We speculated that this will be a very, very well. There's your World 2, by the way. We speculated that this was going to be a very interesting race, and so far, that's pretty much what it is right now.
So it looks like we don't have any courageous acts here from DLP yet, which I find this a little interesting. With the overworld map in World 2, there is a possibility of playing only the right fortress. So if this breaks the lock that he can see, he is going to have to play the other fortress there. I am curious, though, if either Macobra or Pro A decide to go to the right fortress. And it looks like Macobra is absolutely going to do that, as well as Pro A. I think that's an outstanding move because that is a route required. So if it's not the correct, or if it is the correct fortress, DLP has just lost his lead.
I think he might have he got the wrong fortress, unfortunately, and unless he picks up another hammer, he did indeed just lose his lead, or it will be pretty much a stalemate going into finishing up the front half of this particular race.
Actually, that's incorrect. So DLP, because he played 3F2 first, he found out he didn't find out, but Pro A and Macobra actually found it out for us. 3F2 is required. So because DLP played that first, he actually got to save himself some transitions. I would say that DLP is still in the lead at this point.
It's going to be a little closer than it should be. If nothing else, it is a slight lead and more of a stalemate still, because both have nothing really changes at this point, as you mentioned.
Exactly. With it being both forts required, one because of the route, the other because of the lock that prevented them from getting to the castle. Really,
the Hammer Brother has got the Fire Bros. Just lost a mushroom, but gains a hammer in the process.
That hammer is definitely going to be very useful. We see Makobra grabbing him now. And DLP not wanting to waste any more time, he's going to go ahead and strap on a P-Wing for the World 8 second level, and he's going to fly through the rest of this one without taking any further.
And a boss bass that somehow, some way, there it is. Lurkin get a gulp. DLP, I'd lose a couple of seconds if I were you. No, actually, he's going to be okay. He's going to make it.
DLP
gains
has
1,000 points and another card.
And Proe found the ever-loved, ever-dreaded World 7-5. So he went ahead and took an early and intentional death there.
Took a 100-point U-turn there.
Absolutely. He said, nope, I'm out.
And a cloud in that hammer brother fight. So clouds and hammers so far. And DLP,
I mean, you look at it,
some P-Wing strats there as well.
I mean, you look at the set so far, and the randomized part of it has actually been very kind to our runners, both with hammers breaking locks as well as the level setup that we've seen so far. This has not been bad.
We were expecting something a little akin to something a little more difficult, but not so far. And Makobra and DLP are going to finish their airships. Proe lagging a little bit behind, but in the routing department. But he is still. The lead can change very quickly.
Absolutely. When you look at World 6 still up to come, you got World 7 up to come, you've got World 8 still on the books. I mean, there is a lot of chances for any of these runners to come back to change things around. I mean, Leslie Pro's a little bit behind right now, but that doesn't mean he's out of it yet.
World 6 to begin the back half, and we have a Fort 3 Uno to kick us off.
DLP taking a quick stop to see what items were in the fifth door. There weren't any that were interesting to him. It was only a one-up, and these guys don't need it. Both Proe and DLP pulling off the successful off-screen wand grabs at the end of World 2. So very well done on both parts there. And just like that, we see World 7 F2 so far. This is one that whenever I come to, I have to play it. I'm always convinced it's going to be required, and if I don't play it, I'm going to have to come back and find it. So, great choice to go ahead and
just get it out of the way and be done with it.
Unfortunate death.
Oh no, yeah, he got caught. DLP got caught, and now you know why I do not like that fort. And that cost him his cloud too, which is unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. He wants to be a little bit more frivolous with his clouds.
I think he just Actually, I guess he wanted to do I guess he just did the U-turn and said, "Okay, enough. If it's optional." I don't know. No, he did lose his cloud. I just see. Okay, don't mind me, folks. I am derping.
Looks like Leslie Pro trying to take a little bit of a safer strategy. He's fighting against the Big Boss Bass, who is higher than he usually should be.
Nom, 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 nom. That's what happens, folks. It's unfortunate.
Absolutely so. But with that, Leslie Pro says, you know what? Not again. I'm going to go ahead and take a cloud. So he's not going to take a whole lot of damage there. Or a whole lot of time loss, but he will take an item loss. So unfortunately, he is going to have to utilize a cloud there where he might have wanted it a little bit in a different place. But 7.5, we know where that's at, so that may not hurt him.
DLP doing the upstairs route here in the maze of World 7.
We had a question in chat from Nick 12787, and that was, can the World 8 stages still show up for any other world in this randomizer, or just strictly only for World 8? They can show up anywhere. So we just saw 8.2.
Any action level in the game can show up. They are randomized. The only things that are technically unrandomizable would be the if I remember correctly, the tower, which stays in World 5, the spiral tower. That is a transition, a quote unquote pipe transition, and of course Bowser's Castle. That's the end game. That is the end of the world. That is the end of the game. That's where you want to be at to win the race. Apart from that, everything else is fair game.
I want to touch on something real quick, because we just saw 7F1 come up. That is currently what DLP is playing, also known as Fort Knox, and was considerably lower than it usually is. So one thing that we've changed on here is we're featuring what's called frog friendly, because frog friendly means that the levels have to be completed by a frog character. Well, because it can't go through a one block space, they have it so 2 blocks are sometimes allowed as well. So in like 7F1 at the very end there, 7F1 had it so the blocks that you usually would have to slide under are now doubled, so you can actually run through a Super Mario. So we have changed Fort Knox as well to make it possible to beat any level as a frog.
Yeah, that is the thing. That is a very cool thing about the randomizer. It is downloadable. It is available. I have it. I know obviously Grau has it as well. I've tried Frog Friendly. A little more difficult than it actually is, but it is a ton of fun.
Absolutely. The frog percent, any percent, one hit KO percent are all really, really challenging. And it is a lot of fun. It can be a little infuriating, but definitely a lot of fun.
And Makoba will reach the end of World 6 first, but he got the airship to contend with first.
You know, we talk about different worlds being the great equalizer, and in this way we definitely see that. I don't necessarily know if Makobra had used a cloud there, or if he was able to use a hammer to further his advancement. But one way or another, Makobra is definitely in the lead at this point, as he just finished off Lemmy. He's going to be going into World 6. Chat, get your guesses in.
What's the last world? Last chance to get in on it, because World 8 is the last world we will see.
So 4 and 7
and there's a friendly reminder to use your Twitch Prime subscription, by the way, or your Prime Gaming subscription, by the way. B-Wing and Letter and World 4 rounds it off. So we will finish with World in order. And once we're done with World 4, it'll be 7 and 8. So we have obviously 4 with the Fort 5-2, of course, on the screen. But this is going to be very interesting, because now we have the ultimate equalizing, or equalizers in this case. It's World 7 and World 8 to round things off.
This just got even more interesting. DLP was in the lead going into the very end. Now, because of his usage of his hammers, he is now in 4th place. He wasn't able to utilize the hammer to get an early pipe that actually took him to Lemmy, which is what we saw Makobra do, and I believe Pro A as well. So now DLP finds himself in a 4th place on our on-screen with 2 of the greatest equalizers to go. This is anybody's game.
And Makobra trying to get a sub-pixel clip from that level. Did not go the way he wanted it. So On he goes.
That is by far one of the toughest clips in the game, and they call it the Jesus clip because it's a leap of faith. It can resurrect.
That's the Fort F5, by the way. Fort 5-2. That's the Jesus clip. I meant the jump clip, I think, from that level.
Looks like
But I have seen Jesus clip. A, not as easy as it looks. B, damn impressive if you could pull it off. But it is a high risk, high reward clip. However, you get it, awesome. If not, well, there's a floor that's made of lava.
During the SG Live tournament, we actually saw that one of the runners, Stewie Cartman, was a little bit behind. I think Macobra had already finished it off. He had a really tough time getting started, so he found 5F2 in the actual lineup and wound up going for it and completed it in the first try. And I got to tell you, that was really impressive.
I saw that. I remember seeing that. That's Stewie Cartman for you.
And with that, we are now on our way to World 7, a very quick World 4. Looks like DLP is going to go ahead and utilize a cloud there. I think that's a great strategy. He's got to get himself back into this. He's going to be on World 1 airship, taking on Iggy, and we'll be finishing this off as quick as he can. And he'll be just about 25-30 seconds behind Macobra going into the last of the regular worlds, and then, of course, into World 8.
P-Wing and, of course, World 7. And, of course, the goal of World 7 is to find the Eye of Happiness. Macobra, is not finding what he likes. Probably just joined us in World 7, so will be DLP. So bouncing around to find or at least to see what the routing may look like eventually. And, of course, it is one thing we should note. Pipes, multiple pipe situations, especially in World 7, they are randomized, as you saw earlier in World 3.
I'm watching this, and it looks like Macobra is putting on the
wow.
Already in the airship.
And, oh, boy.
What a great usage of his inventory and of knowing the map. He knew that the fort at the very beginning would break the lock because the other pipe doesn't do anything. So he has to play the fort, play the pipe, or go through the pipe, beat the piranha, and then go on from there. And knowing that,
you might have
noticed the hammer.
You might have noticed Macobra just got a major league lead using that. That for Macobra, that was a Music Box 99 World 7. Maybe not completely free, but ooh. He got the right route, and everyone else is still trying to find their way.
Well, DLP316 took a nope on that last one. He found World 8 Fortress and actually took an early death, realizing, wait a second, I have a hammer. So he wound up going back, breaking the hammer, and now he is going through where Macobra and Pro A just were, but they don't have the clouds. So now he's going to have to go through and probably play all these levels to try to get to the end game, which is where we see Pro A currently.
Right now, of course, it's you want to beat all the boom booms to build any bridge and unlock any locks possible, because at the keep, that of course, originally there was just one tank or one level. You beat that and you go all the way to Bowser's Keep. However, that could be randomized. You could have bridges, you could have locks. So obviously the strat here, as Macobra Joe goes into super tanks, find as many boom booms, as many orbs, as many forts as possible. And of course, you want to find the keep so you can get to the castle to beat Koopa, to beat the game, and of course, win the race.
World 8 is all about the recon versus the forts. It's one or the other. You need to know where Bowser is, and you need to know how to get there. So sometimes we'll see players, they'll find pipes and they'll immediately go through it. Other players will find a fortress, they'll play it that way, they don't have to come back to it. So unless you have a Jet World 8, which so far we're seeing it at 27 minutes into this third or into this 8th and final.
Yeah, I would temper expectations on a sub 30 seed here, but this has still been a very quick seed.
Absolutely, and currently we're looking to see, and it looks
we have one bridge, and we have to find a couple forts. We have a few more orbs to find.
that is interesting. So currently we do have a fortress at the top in the L shape. So Macobra is going to have to go into the dark room, try to see if he can find the other fortresses.
He needs to find the pipe to the shortcut, and that's the routing issue now. Or be the Air Force, or the Air Force level in that case.
I think this may be one of the first times I've ever seen a 3-bridge requirement on World 8. This is incredible.
It's a rarity, that is for sure.
Macobra opting to not take any chances. He's decided to use a wing on one side.
Yeah, because he died. He died trying to fly his way. He realized, oh wait, I'm in Fire Mario mode. Whoops.
Yeah, that certainly can cause some havoc on people, especially if you're used to having the same power up. So I'm not sure which. I haven't seen much of a variance between both Pro A and Macobra. So I'm guessing the very first fort that's found on the Lava Lake part of World 8 is the required fortress. And now they're going back to find the other two, as this is a 3-bridge requirement.
We have 3 bridges. We will know if this builds one of the bridges very, very soon.
DLP did just find the fortress on the L shape. So I find that very interesting because Pro A's there as well. Meanwhile, Macobra actually took a little bit of a divergence to go back to the beginning and see if that's the correct fortress. So we have a little bit of a divergence. We know that 2 of our runners, or all 3 of our runners, have completed at least one of the bridges. We'll see if these are both required. It looks like Macobra one of them.
Yeah, Macobra got one of them, I believe. Yeah, if you look at what Pro A just completed, I think that desert level is that fort, the World 2 fort is the clincher, or at least that's what it seems to be the case.
So at this point, our runners are going to have to run back to the beginning with the lava lake. Pro A is going to go ahead and play the tanks. That's not correct. He's actually going to have to go back to the lava lake, find the level or the castle behind the level, play it, and then go back and take on Bowser. This is getting exciting. I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
Yeah, this is this might turn into a photo finish. May turn into a photo finish.
I think at this point we haven't seen anybody timer yet, so we haven't actually seen Bob.
Macobra got it.
It definitely appeared
his way in. No hammer suit, so this will be a standard, unless a fire flower is found in the fort. We're looking at a standard standard vanilla Bowser kill here. So still a shot at it if people catch up. World's most famous clip there, obviously. Macobra, go take a look. He finds the flower, so he will get a flower kill if he can make it through the lasers, which are randomized, or he clips. Shot number 2. He's looking at it. He's got time.
I don't want to jinx anything here, but Macobra has been on fire with these clips. The fact it's taken him 6 tries so far is a little disappointing. He has been so good and so consistent with this. It's kind of disappointing to see this.
Yeah, he had good shots. But at this point, no lasers. So the laser at the end is... Oh, no!
DLP is currently going through 1-4. Pro A has just finished the fortress. And I don't know that Pro A has a good item either, but he does have a mushroom, and we did see the fire flower at the end. Can Pro A finish this?
He could be close, folks. It could be close.
At this point, you have to believe Macobra is feeling the pressure, and as Small Mario, the best he can do is likely mushroom, unless he decides to grab it and then go to the bottom route to see if he can get something else. Pro A has a very real chance here.
Pro A could catch up. It all depends on what he does next. He will get the common man clip, obviously. Macobra going to the bomb route. There's nothing there. He's at the end.
Pro A has found the fire clip. Macobra has nothing going for him at this point other than the fact that he's able to get through these fireballs without any issues. Ooh. And with it being a set, it looks like that is going to spell.
It's going to be close. Macobra makes it. All he's got to do is keep the fire flower to the end.
Oh no, he got a backwards jump.
It's a fight.
I mean, he's still there though.
He got backwards jump.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, this will be a photo finish, folks. Macobra will get it. Oh, we'll get you the official times in just a couple of seconds.
Wow.
But you see the times on screen now. Of course, there's a delay for those who don't know, but we will tell you those times. Macobra.Duns official race time GG time 34:26, and Pro A just downs his Koopa. Oh boy!
Definitely get your GGs out for both Pro A and Macobra on that.
34:46 for Pro A 007.
DLP was going for a little bit of a tricky clip there. It's one that he was able to find. You can actually go through. It's a very frame-specific jump, but you can actually clip through all the way to Balancer from below with where the item block was. But how...
Joining us in the call, ladies and gentlemen, Pro A 007, GG.
Why did I have to lose Fire Mario? Why? Why does God hate me so much?
You gave it a fight, though. You gave it a fight. And 20 seconds between first and second is close. Yeah. I would not be ashamed of that.
Yeah, story of my life. Just a little slow, a little late behind Macobra.
Speaking of, in the chat is our wiener, Macobra 52, GG.
I think it's kind of Macobra 007, but yeah, GG.
Yeah. DLP just finished up 35:54, by the way, for those wondering the official time. Yeah, Macobra, you had plenty of time. You were going for that clip.
Yeah, and I sort of flubbed it there at the end there, and yeah. It's been a while since I did that final room for Bowser, but yeah. I tried for it and didn't work out. And I was surprised no one sniped me, to be honest. But yeah, what a finish there.
Yeah.
This was a case of different routings, but the lead changed so much for at least a world.
Yeah.
Speaking of, in the chat, DLP, how you doing, GG?
Hey, good, thank you.
Lots of different routing options there, and they were being explored, boys.
Yeah, I accidentally messed up my timer right in the beginning, so I figured I was a little bit behind, and I didn't play the fort right away because it technically wasn't required in World 3. There was that. In World 6, I used a cloud to skip the first level, and then accidentally died in 7F2, died in 1-6 at the end, and couldn't clip for the life of me. So I'd say I lost about 2 minutes with all that considered. So I'm happy it was as close as it was, though. I decided to just go aggressive. I've been going into 8 with a bunch of items lately, so I just wanted to use them as soon as I got them.
Yeah. There was a decent haul from the Hammer Bros and what have you. The end card looked like it was vanilla, from what little intelligence I got.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I saw the star
And
with the star. And
we'll round off the quad. 37:54 official time.
I cleared a card and I didn't get anything good from it outside of vanilla stuff, but it allowed me to fire kill Bowser, so there's that.
Yeah. Once I saw the mushroom and the star come up in the first card, I thought it's gotta be vanilla. So I adjusted my strats and ignored the cards as much as possible. That's actually why I avoided the card in World 7, because of where it ended up popping up. So I gambled on that hammer breaking a lock, and it did. So that saved me a little time in World 7.
And joining us, GG Leslie Pro.
GG, everybody. Whew. Well, that was something. Mystery really does add another wrinkle to this, to where you have to think of what to do. And I'll admit, I kind of got bailed out a couple of times, like breaking the lock in World 1. 7F2 not being required was a nice bailout. At that point, I hit no lives, so I'm like, you know what? Roll the Gamble-Matic 9000, because it's now or never.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where I used hammers. I used clouds all over the place because I got quite a few, including the back room in 1-3. I know I used a hammer in 1 and 7 because they didn't want to save it for World 8, which had 3 bridges, by the way, which might be the second time I've ever seen that.
You don't see that every day, I'll say that.
Oh yeah,
No, you do not.
Yeah, that was strange. I only saw one hammer, so it must have skipped out on a hammer somewhere along the way, because I only picked up one.
Yeah, I found 3 or 4. I think 3, I want to say.
2 myself, and I used 1 on the Boulder World 2 to skip 2 levels. Should have saved for 6, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's really what bailed me out in World 6.
Nice.
Yeah, and basically when I hit 0 lives, I had that decision to make. 2 stars to 5 up. 12 coins to a 1-up. Do I eat the game over, or do I just go for it? Went for it, and thankfully nothing happened.
After the screen transition in World 2, where was the second lock at?
It was right in front of the castle. It was required.
Oh, okay, because I didn't notice while I was racing that you could actually go up and around that lock, so I just went and played the first fort to begin with, and then it didn't break the lock, and then I was like, oh, wait, you can just go right around, and then I beat that fort, then the Hammer Bro bailed me out and gave me a hammer, so then I skipped 2 levels there as well.
Oh, that must have been where I skipped out on the hammer, because I just put them to sleep, because I was just trying to pick up my pace a little bit. But yeah, I did go around, and then I looked at the board like, oh, required. So I kind of figured it was, but you never know. World 2 can be funny that way.
Yeah, it really can, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I thought I had a pretty good shot going into World 8. Felt like I was playing pretty good, and then I saw the Cobra finish, and he's never going to finish without Pro A right behind him or in front of him, because you guys only finish within 20 seconds of each other, so pretty much knew third was locked up at that point.
Oh, are you sure about that, DLP? Because when I was going in 8, I thought, okay, if there's no dot done, we still got a shot. Then I see 2 dot dones, I'm like, yeah, I think I know where I lost this. Deaths in general, down the stretch in particular, because I died in Army twice, and one of them was questionable at best.
Yeah. It is what it is. What it is. But it was an interesting seed. Lots of different variables. You know, vanilla Hammer Bro HP, vanilla, not vanilla Hammer Bro, vanilla Koopa Kid HP and attributes. End card was vanilla, so you know, and frog friendly, which I noticed with 6F1. Like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was also a nice touch. And once I realized that the end card game was vanilla, I just took what I had and left it because it's like, I don't need to waste any more time on this, but the items will help.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna sign off, but GG's everyone.
We'll do.
We should do more of these.
I agree.
Absolutely. This was
I agree.
a fasty but an interesting one to watch.
Yeah, I like the random stuff. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. I guess with people
Yeah.
signing off, I guess we may as well do the same. We thank you very much for tuning us in, ladies and gentlemen, for this Super Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer Weekly Race. We will be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern-ish. On behalf of everybody, Growl Wolf, send us home.
We'd like to give special shout outs as always to our runners who made this happen. DLP316, Pro A007, Leslie Pro _04, Macabre52. Definitely go follow them. Give them a shout out, give them a follow, show them some love. Thank you for their support. We want to shout out Mind of Me, who was able to assist with the actual restream tonight. Always a pleasure working with them and everyone at Speed Gaming. They do a fantastic job of that. Really appreciate Maddie J316, who assisted on the comms as well. This, of course, has been Growlwolf, and on behalf of the entire community, we want to thank you for being a part. Without you guys, it would definitely not be a thing. So until next time, keep randomizing, keep racing. Take care.
So long from the Mushroom Kingdom, everybody.
GG's.